Hey guys, I'm Chef D-Max. Welcome to my kitchen. We're making succotash today, so stay with me. It's going to be an amazing recipe, and I know you're going to like it. Click subscribe if you're not doing that already. Give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and ring that bell, and I'll send you new stuff coming up. So see you back in a second. Okay, you guys, here we are in the kitchen. I've got my pot started. I already started some bacon because I want to show you how quick this can be. You can see right here how this bacon is cooking, and it's really nice. From there, I'm going to add in my green onions, I'm going to add in my garlic, I'm going to add in mushrooms, I'm adding in peppers, okay? I'm going to add in all of those elements. And here you can see they're all coming together now, right? It's such a simple kind of method to this, right? So with this, you can see how these beautifully diced zucchini are here. Now I can cut those in these little perfect dice. You can look and see how I'm take the outer edge of the zucchini off. And when I take that off, I lay it flat and I cut the seed out because the seed is a little bit watery. And you don't want that excess wateriness in your dish, that's for sure. So with this, all we're going to do now is saute this down, okay? And then at this point, I'm going to look to add in my other flavors, my tomatoes. This will be my next one. Tomatoes are going to add wateriness. So these cherry tomatoes I cut in half. There's a whole pint of cherry tomatoes cut in half, all different colors like gold, red, right? And we're going to add those in. And the tomatoes as they cook, let me turn this up because I want it to go fast now. Now that I've started the saute process, I've added the tomatoes. The tomatoes are going to start to break down because I've cut them in half, so that opens the seed pocket up and the water is exposed, and they're going to start to cook down in the dish. Now, if you don't have cherry tomatoes, you can either put diced tomato, and really kind of a nice, elegant way, if you want a really elegant succotash, you can actually take a couple tomatoes, dice them, puree them up in a NutriBullet till it's a liquid. So you have a tomato water. And then what I do is I cook the tomato water. And then that way there's no skin. It's just a clean look that cooks this tomato down with your vegetables, with your carrot, or excuse me, with your corn, with your peppers, with your beans. All of that stuff cooks together and it's really nice. So with this, we're going to let this cook for a little bit. While that's cooking, I'm going to put in my green beans because these green beans are raw, right from the farm, so they need to kind of cook for a little bit. And these green beans, you can have any size green beans. If you have little haricots, you can cut them. Doesn't matter, but it needs to be a fresh bean, not a dried bean. Okay, if it was a dried bean, it would take a longer period of time to cook. Okay, now this tomato is going to cook in here quickly. I want to add my corn. My corn's going to take about 6 to 8 minutes to cook. So corn would be our last one to put in here because we don't want to overcook the corn, right? So I'm going to stick the corn in and I'm going to start to stir that up and we're going to let that go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lid on this because I want this to kind of steam in its own juices first, okay? And get really hot. Now, after it's done that and steamed in its juices for a little bit, I'm going to open this lid up and I'm going to let that evaporate and let it cook down a little bit. But the liquid in there is actually nice. It's a beautiful liquid. So I don't need it all to escape. And I don't want this to be dry. I want this to be wet and juicy and nice, okay? So let's talk about the end game here, which is the herbs. Okay, the herbs you're always going to put in towards the end, especially because you're going to, this is, succotash is all about kind of really the harvest of the fall or the end of summer, and you've got all of these items that have been growing, the peppers, the corn, the onions. So with this too, we've got tons of herbs, and I don't like to just use, let me put a little teaspoon of parsley. No, this dish should be about the flavor that these herbs give you, that summer flavor. So I have all these leaves of parsley that I picked a whole bunch here. So in this dish right here, you're looking at a whole bunch of parsley leaves. And I want that because I want beautiful flavor of summer, right? These herb flavors. And I'm going to cut this parsley up like this. Okay, and what I do is I just press it like this against the board, and I just cruise by with my knife, julienning it, make sure not to put my fingertips under there, right? And that's going to give me this kind of julienne. Then I come back and I'm just going to cut it a few times to create kind of this, that's it, a simple chop on that. Now, let's put it here. So I'm going to stick my herbs in this container here. Let's do all of our herbs together. Now, here I chopped, I put the green onion inside with my other dishes, but I also kept the tops of the green onion, which I've diced here, right? Because I don't like to waste anything. Those parts of the green onion are nice to add in right at the end, okay? Because they're nice to eat, even raw. Now, mint is another one that's kind of different because, you know, a lot of people think mint's got to be for sweet. It doesn't have to be for sweet. For me, a succotash in mint is like a version of summer that it just defines summer to me. So whether it's mint in your tea or mint in your, you know, some of your spicy dishes, it's really great. But what it also has a different angle to it than parsley. So it's going to really bring something out. Now, you could put basil if you don't like mint. I would sub basil in it because I'm not putting basil in this one. I'm putting mint instead. But again, basil's a really big, you know, popular one in the summer to be putting in this dish too. Okay. So with that, again, julienning it down, and I come back and chop it just real quick, and I put it in here. Now, cilantro is another one I really love. So with this cilantro, I'm going to just take my long stems of cilantro here, and I'm not worried about these stems too much, so I just cut it like that to trim these, and I cut these down a little bit more. These are like, I'm saying 3 bunches because they are 3 small bunches, but you can see that this is like one normal bunch of big cilantro that you would get. Now, I don't worry about cutting that too small. You know, to get like nice shards, you know, big leaves of lettuce, herbs in your mouth like that is great, and that's what you want. So with this, we're ready to go, right? At this point, let's season this a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take my lid off, and I'm going to add a nice tablespoon of salt, and I'm going to add in a lot of pepper. I love pepper in this, so pepper and succotash is the way to go. So, cherry tomato halves, zucchini, yellow squash, red pepper, green onions, bacon, corn, green beans, all great flavors, right? Pepper in there. That's my spice, so that's why we're putting a lot of it in there. I'm going to mix this up. Oh, it smells great. So this, I just want to cook this down now, okay? Now, again, I don't want all those liquid disappearing and not being able to capture it, so I'm going to go ahead and put the lid back on, and we're going to roll with this for a little while, probably about 5 minutes, and we'll be back in 5 minutes and see how it does. So I'll see you back then. Okay, guys, we're back now. I'm going to take off this, and you can see it's beautiful, right? What keeping the lid on there does is it keeps a lot of these, keeps a lot of the liquid in, allows this juiciness to just be in there. Otherwise, if you left it off, it would just evaporate, right? And the flavors would still be intense, but you're losing that juice. And I don't want to lose that juice. And we're right in a good spot right now. So I'm going to put in all my herbs, because the herbs really are going to go in, you know, before you're ready to either serve it or cool it down, one of the two. So with this, we just toss those in. You can see how already vibrant this dish looks, right? Beautiful vegetables, right? Summer vegetables, all cooked together, their juices marrying together. This is an amazing flavor to have. Now, I want to add a little acidity of citrus. So I'm going to take a couple lemons here, and I'm going to put the juice of the lemons in here. So we got one. Now you can use lime. Summer's very lime time, actually. So I use lemons or limes, whatever you're getting better price on, because that really tells you what the season is a lot of times. And if you have, if you know, something is real expensive, that's because it's out of season. They're shipping it from far away. So I put a lot of citrus in just because I like that acidity in there, that citrus acidity too. It's really nice, okay? And I'm gonna basically turn this off at this point, okay? And then I'm done. Look how beautiful that is. So let's take a little look at this. I'm gonna take this beautiful succotash, okay? And add that to my dish here. Now, this succotash, you guys, this could be, you know, this could go with anything. You could put some scallops on there. You could put it in a bowl plate and serve it with fish and just drizzle olive oil on it. It's got a million different applications, right? With grilled pork chops in the summer, grilled steak fanned over top of this in a cassoulet would be beautiful. So try this at home. Summer succotash. Wow. It's perfect. Really good, you guys. I think you're going to like this. So give it a shot. I'll see you back in the kitchen soon. I'm Chef T Max.